Ramesh was a man who seemed to have it all: a beautiful wife, Meena, and an adorable 7-year-old son, Arif. They lived in a modest but happy home where love and laughter were abundant. Ramesh was the breadwinner, working tirelessly in a corporate job, while Meena took care of the household and their son. But Ramesh had a dark secret. Beneath the loving husband facade, he led a double life. For the past year, he had been in a relationship with a young woman named Priya. To Priya, Ramesh was a single man looking for love. He spun tales of being lonely and unsupported, drawing Priya into his web of deception. Meena, however, began to sense something was amiss. Ramesh's late-night meetings became frequent. His phone was suddenly password protected, and he was unusually defensive when questioned. One evening, Ramesh returned home later than usual. He had a faint trace of lipstick on his collar, which he didn't notice. Meena did. She confronted him, but Ramesh laughed it off, calling her overly suspicious. But Meena's instincts told her otherwise. She decided to investigate further. Over the next few weeks, she checked his messages, followed his movements, and eventually uncovered the truth. She found photos of Ramesh and Priya together, messages professing his love for Priya, and promises of a future together. The betrayal shattered her. How could the man she had devoted her life to, the father of her child, do this? Meena didn't confront Ramesh immediately. Instead, she planned carefully. She tracked his location one evening and found him dining at a luxurious restaurant with Priya. Overwhelmed with anger and pain, Meena stormed into the restaurant with Arif in tow. The scene turned chaotic. "Ramesh, is this your meeting?" she yelled, tears streaming down her face. Priya, confused, looked at Ramesh. "Who is she?" Ramesh stammered, trying to control the situation, but Meena wasn't done. She threw photos and messages on the table, exposing his lies to Priya. Priya was horrified. "You told me you were single. How could you lie to me like this?" A loud argument broke out, drawing the attention of everyone in the restaurant. Ramesh's double life unraveled in front of a crowd. Meena filed for divorce the very next day. She wanted nothing more to do with Ramesh. Meanwhile, Priya, feeling humiliated and betrayed, decided to take revenge. She filed a police case against Ramesh, accusing him of fraud and emotional abuse. Ramesh's world crumbled overnight. His employer learned about his actions and terminated him, citing misconduct. He lost his job, his family, and his reputation. The court trial was grueling. Evidence of his deceit, messages, calls, and witness testimonies piled up. Ramesh tried to plead for leniency, but the judge was unsympathetic. "Your actions not only betrayed your wife, but also emotionally manipulated another woman. You must face the consequences," the judge declared. Ramesh was sentenced to 5 years in prison. Prison was a harsh reality for Ramesh. Days turned into weeks and weeks into months. The isolation gave him time to reflect on his actions. He realized how his lies had destroyed not only his life, but the lives of those who loved him. He often thought of Arif. The thought of his son growing up without a father broke him. He wrote letters to Meena and Arif, begging for forgiveness, but Meena never responded. By the time Ramesh was released, 5 years had passed. He stepped out of prison a changed man, but the world outside had moved on. Meena had remarried, and Arif had a new father figure. Priya had moved to another city, leaving her painful past behind. Ramesh tried to rebuild his life but struggled to find work due to his criminal record. He lived in solitude, haunted by the consequences of his actions. One evening, he stood before a mirror, looking at the shadow of the man he once was. He realized one thing: dishonesty never leads to happiness. Lies may provide temporary comfort, but they always come at a devastating cost. Ramesh began volunteering at a community center, sharing his story with young men and women. He warned them about the dangers of deceit and the importance of integrity. "Don't let your desires blind you to the value of what you already have," he would say. "I lost everything because I took what I had for granted. Don't make the same mistake." We bring you heart-touching and inspiring stories on this channel. If you're enjoying our content, please subscribe and join us on this journey.